5th grade Tapestry. Key vocabulary: tapestry, loom, warp, and weft. Tapestry, a piece of thick textile fabric with designs formed by weaving colored weft threads and used as a wall hanging. Warp, vertical pieces of thread attached to a loom over and under which weft threads are passed. Weft, thread that is woven into the warp. These pieces go left and right, or west and east. Behold. The loom. What do the following animals have in common with a loom? They're all herbivores. They have flat teeth and eat plants. See? Flat teeth at the top and flat teeth at the bottom. Warping the loom, flossing the herbivore teeth. Using your warp or herbivore floss, place in between the top two teeth. Tape the warp floss to secure it. Flip the loom over. Rappel down the mountain. Sneak behind the tooth. Climb back up the mountain. Sneak behind that tooth. Rappel. Sneak behind. Climb. Repeat the steps. Check the back. The warp should not be wrapped around it. Continue warping the loom. When you get to the last tooth, floss it and flip it over. Tape it and cut the remaining warp. Write your name on one piece of the tape and class code on the other. It's weaving time. Tabby. Tabby weaves back and forth evenly, sharing the same warp. Over or under, you decide. The warp is tighter at the top and the bottom. Weaving towards the middle is easier. Once through, place the needle down. Use your hands to shuttle the weft through. Scoot the weft up to the top. Pull the weft tail into the warp. It should not hang off the loom. Leave a bubble or gap on both sides of the warp. Do your best not to allow the weft to pull the warp in. Squish to the top. Snip and tuck under. Be careful not to cut the warp, only the weft. Slit. Place a piece of paper under the warp you're going to focus on. Over or under, you decide. You weave a baby tabby on the left Make sure the small tail comes through. Snip and tuck under. Squish to the top. Switch paper to the other side. Over or under, you decide. You weave a baby tabby on the right. Snip and tuck under. Squish to the top. See the slit in the middle? Tabby. Over or under, you decide. Sumac. Begins the same as a tabby. This helps anchor the sumac. Around the first warp once. Around the first warp again, and the second warp. It looks like a curly pigtail. Under the same warp and under the next. Under the same warp and under the next. When returning, go over the last piece of warp and under the next. Then under the same warp and under the next. When returning, go over that last piece of warp and under the next. Then under the same warp and under the next. When returning, go over the last piece of warp and under the next. Under the same warp and under the next. Finally, end with tabby. Squish to the top. Tabby. Over or under, you decide.
I'm Superman. I'm Superman. I'm Superman. I got mushrooms.